Well, howdy there, folks. This is your host, ID Jester. Thanks for checking out my video. We are looking at the top most powerful 18 heroes in the game. Last episode, we looked at number 17, which happened to be Mr. Fantastic. This episode, we're going to look at number 16 most powerful hero in the game. Who will it be? Dun 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 dun. We have a winner right there. Dun dun dun. Ghost Rider, the 16th most powerful hero in the game. Again, these are tough decisions when you're trying to narrow down and trying to figure out exactly how powerful. Is this one more powerful, less powerful? I mean, sometimes it just comes down to what you thinking from the last time you looked at them, and the last time it could come down to just a matter of what items you have on the character. It's just there's some of these are so close. Is he more powerful than Mr. Fantastic, or is Mr. Fantastic, or is Ghost Rider more more powerful than number 15? All right, so let's look at him. Yes, Ghost Rider. So I guess, he makes it definitely in the top 18 most powerful, and probably because of this power right there, the Penance Stare. The ability to stop an enemy from doing whatever he's doing and basically suck the life out of him and do some massive amounts of damage. Really, instead of taking their big attack, all of a sudden you're doing a big attack to them. That basically turns the tide. And if you combine that with the Infernal Contract, where you basically risk half of your life to do a whole bunch of extra, damage for 8 seconds, is huge. The mechanic of that he kind of has, where he's going to add Hellfire to enemies, and then basically use that Hellfire to do extra damage. So you can see that our normal attack here, the Infernal Skull, just does extra damage, 20% per stack of Hellfire. So you spend a little while, and it's not very long, unlike some of the other heroes. You throw down this Infernal, you throw down this Hell from above, and you got 3 or 4 stacks on them. You're actually going to be doing 60% extra damage just every time you use your normal attack. Just extra damage. And 60% extra damage on 42 to 63,000 is a nice chunk of extra damage you're doing. Really nice. He has a nice, decent passive power. The health buff plus the mental damage rating, and then taking 10% less damage, and then a damage rating, and his other buff here, the passive Protect the Innocent, gives him some nice defensive ratings, regenerates some health, and then whenever you take damage, you and your allies gain Constitution, restoring 210 health per second for 10 seconds. So pretty much all the time you're going to be regenerating health. So it makes you, stay in the fight a little bit longer than maybe some of the other heroes can do. The ability to do extra damage anytime you got, Hellfire stacks on enemies. Just throw it on that Inferno, you throw the Hell from above, you can cause that, depending on how you set your character up, you can cause that Hellfire to be stacked up really quickly, pretty nicely, and then you're doing some extra damage from all those attacks. And of course, like I said, that all based upon kind of this combo is kind of what separates Ghost Rider from a lot of the other heroes. This big, okay, I'm going to lose half my health, but I'm going to do a nice extra chunk of damage for 8 seconds. So activate this, do your Penance Stare, throw down a Hell from above, throw this, and you're going to be doing, a nice extra amount of damage. Now, of course, you have to wait, what's the cooldown? 20 seconds, which is not that long. And then, you lose half your health and you're like, oh no, oh no. Well, not really, oh no, because you're gaining, a bunch of health back from this, and you're gaining a bunch of health from this. So, I mean, it's kind of a risk reward, but you kind of have you played the devil. And you're actually, you kind of one up them. You're like, okay, I'll lose half my health, but I also, you don't know this, but I'm gaining a bunch of extra health here, and I take less damage, and I regenerate a whole bunch of damage anytime you hit me. So the mechanic works well. It makes him interesting. And yeah, he does some, pretty nice little bits of damage here. Voice acting is good. Thank God they didn't get Nicolas Cage to do it, because I would have put a bullet in my head. Thank God for that. Look at these stat lines: 46, 47, 45, 45, 47, 47. Huge numbers, which is awesome. Which means we're putting our stats where we need. Our items are giving us nice buffs in what we're looking to, what we're trying to do. About the only one we really are hurting is Hell from Above and Frey, which are, we don't use these a lot anyways. These are kind of our substitute powers, but our main powers, this one 47, this one 45, this one 47, and of course our buffs 47 and 46. That's huge, even slightly more than a couple, probably some of the other heroes we're going to be looking at. Just having those extra ranks, are going to be doing a little bit more damage than you should. A little bit more damage than you should. Our Hellfire we use all the time to get those. Our Inferno we use all the time to get our Hellfire stacks. We're at a nice juicy 45 points. That's totally respectable. We just looked at, hero number 17, Mr. Fantastic. And his stats were not, his stat line for his powers were not nearly as much as Ghost Rider here. Unfortunately, kind of his downfall. Why he's not more powerful is ultimate power is very hard to control. The fact that you're riding a motorcycle and trying to, you have a big chain over your head, and you're kind of going around in a circle, around, you're trying to maneuver it just around all the bosses, and as you fly through the bosses, you got to stop the bike and turn it around and have them come back the other way, so you lose a lot of that damage you could be doing. You could try going around in a big circle around the enemies, but then you're not hitting them all at the same time. So, it's a cool effect and everything. It just doesn't work very well because you're losing a lot of DPS from your ultimate, which, knocks him down to number 16 of the most powerful heroes in the game. The Infernal Contract and Penance Stare, I think, is a great combo. Works really well for Ghost Rider. Being a physical and mental, as you see mental here and then physical here, he has that little combo going on, so that makes him interesting because there's, obviously the power cosmic you can get going on with that. You can use the armor alternate reality grenade. You have some artifacts that will, and legendaries that'll specifically work with that little combo you have going on. Gain mental damage for 8 seconds when you hit anybody inflicted with Hellfire. I think he actually has another. No, I thought he had another one that actually had something specifically with Hellfire, but I could be mistaken. But there's a lot of built-in things into his item. +1 fighting, spirit cost reduction, extra health, extra spirit, recover spirit whenever we hit, which keeps him, in the fight longer with his main attacks. 20% chance when you ignite any enemy with hellfire to weaken them. Okay, yeah, see, I knew there was another thing with the hellfire. And then, of course, when you critical hit with a mental power, you're going to burn the enemy. So, I mean, a lot of the items really work well with his mechanic. Stat-wise, he's got, pretty good stats. Damage reduction seems a little low, and his damage actually seems a little bit low. But, of course, these numbers don't give the total reflection because a lot of these things are not built into those numbers. If we look at our stat line, we are looking at where is mental? Where is mental? So 41.7% chance to critical hit. It's a little low. I'll be honest, it's a little bit low. Brutal strike rating of 48.2%. That's almost where it needs to be. So stat line, he could use a little working, obviously, and get some better critical hits in there. But we're really not trying to get critical hits. We're really trying to get brutal strikes. So stat line could use a little bit of improvement. His damage reduction, his damage output numbers could be a little bit better. But, maybe that's why he falls into number 16 of the most powerful heroes in the game. Ghost Rider, yeah, all in all, not bad. He's definitely an interesting hero. The graphic effect, the sound, the voice acting, everything, makes you feel like you're playing him. The hell from above and the burning the treads and the infernal wheelie. I mean, these are all really cool. You can even put points in ride on your little motorcycle around town. Really cool. And I think just that, it really just sets them apart is the fact that they have that infernal contract with the pen and stare. And it's just like, okay, you're standing toe-to-toe with an enemy and he's getting ready to blast you, and you can just activate this every 30 seconds and basically 2 seconds just suck the life right out of them. Just take everything away from them, and they just have to stop everything they're doing, and that's just huge. It can turn the tide completely. So Ghost Rider, number 16 most powerful hero in the game. So, who do you think will be number 15? Be sure to come back and watch that episode soon. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.